A raccoon saved from the middle of a lake, as you see here, snarling at his rescuers, but probably thankful tonight. This dramatic rescue was caught on camera on Old Hickory Lake. News 2's Nikki McGee has more on the TWRA officer now credited with saving his life. Nikki.
Well, Haley, boaters found this little guy doggy paddling after noticing some movement by some logs. They threw it a pool noodle to hang on to until help could arrive. One TWRA agent was able to scoop down and grab the raccoon by the back of the neck, then safely got it to shore. Sergeant Nathan Karch with the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency doesn't think he's a hero, but he does believe this little guy wouldn't have survived had he gotten help much later.
Unfortunately, that day it was a very highly trafficked day. It was busy, and where we found it was pretty much dead center of the lake. You're looking at, a 200-yard swim either way, so odds were not in its favor.
Initially, Karch thought fellow agents were conducting a sobriety test with boaters, but instead he found this little critter clinging on to a pool noodle, out of breath, before it jumped onto the boat's transom. By grabbing it by the back of the neck, Karch was able to avoid getting bit.
It was obviously not wanting to be on that boat with humans, but it didn't want to get back in the water. You could see that it was exhausted and very stressed out. So, it was good that we got to it when we did.
Karch says this isn't the first time he's seen animals in the water. He recalls deer unknowingly sneaking onto barges and houseboats, only to be found later struggling in the middle of the lake. Thankfully, this was one animal Karch was able to help.
We were able to take him right to shore in a wooded area, release him on a log, and he scurried up the bank, and he was fine. So it was a good ending.
They may not be buddies, but Karch hopes this little guy is back to doing what raccoons do best. The area he was released into is right by a marina, including a restaurant and private residences.
I know there's an abundance of food over there, and they generally raid people's trash cans and stuff like that looking for food. So I'd imagine that he's hunting up some good grub right now.
Now, this wasn't Karch's only crazy encounter that day. As he was dropping off the raccoon, he says a water snake jumped into his patrol boat, who he also had to remove. Now, if you ever see an animal stranded or swimming, he urges you to toss it a flotation device and call for help, or take it to shore if you're able to.